Hello, welcome to Pagan Path. I'm sorry that I haven't done any videos recently, but I've just moved home. If anyone is wondering, this is the Pagan Path. My name is Malk. And this week, I thought we might delve in to the not so nice part of witchcraft. The dark side of witchcraft. Now, I wouldn't say that I've delved into the dark side of witchcraft myself. I've once or twice invoked beings from different realms, but good beings. Really not from the dark side. You must always strive to be in the light. And so, from experience, the experience of getting rid of things from the dark, things from the underworld, the place where, well, actually, a thought has just come to my mind. The underworld is what the Greeks and what the Norse call basically where the spirits dwell. The underworld in Christianity is not the same underworld as the Greek and the Norse. Now, obviously, when people think of the underworld, most people think of hell, as in the devil's hell and the demons. But God cast Satan down to the earth, because otherwise, when Jesus was in the desert and Satan came to him and said, "If you bow down to me, I will give you all the earth." And of course, Jesus said, "Flee from me, Satan, for men cannot live on bread alone, but by every word of God." And that's what we need to do, friends. We really need to, no matter what sort of path you're taking. My path is the God dwells inside you, within you. And many people from all different religions will say similar things. Maybe he's, I don't know, on a cloud, or maybe he's an animal. Whatever you believe, always strive for the God part, not the evil part. So anyway, today we're going to be speaking about, in effect, dark entities, demons, people that sometimes, maybe for no fault of their own, invoke these entities, and then of course do not know how to get rid of them. And then they have to call someone like me to get rid of them. Of course, some people use prayer. I myself use prayer, smoke, crystals and other things to get rid of the entity, wherever it may be. For instance, once there was someone having trouble at their home. The entity was making a right mess of the house when they weren't there. At first, they thought it was a burglar, but after a few days they found out that actually there was something not very nice in the house. For they couldn't sleep because, you see, once you get a dark entity in and around your home or around a specific person, because the demon or entity will try and latch upon that person and try and control their every living day of their lives. For it will whisper, because of course Satan in Hebrew means he who whispers, and of course the demons, the entities, whisper things, and after a while the person can't tell if it's their own inner thought telling them what to do or something else, something from the dark. Of course, the people couldn't get rid of the thing. At this point, it was moving things in the house, moving curtains, plates were being slid across surfaces, ornaments were moved right in front of the person's eyes, and of course sleeping was nearly impossible, for when they did go to sleep they had nightmares, very vivid nightmares of things not human, with human shapes but dark entities. Of course they knew that I was a psychic. They knew that I've been a psychic most of my life, but now getting to the stage where I can get rid of things. Knowledge is everything. And of course I went in, and even before you decide to go, the entity knows that you're coming to get rid of them. And when I link to things, I only have to think of the specific thing, and I can nearly see them in my mind's eye. It happens a lot when I speak of my grandfather. If I speak of him for more than a few sentences, then I can feel his presence around me very strongly. You have to be very careful of what you say and what you think when you do this sort of thing, when you try to get rid of things, because what you don't want to do, you don't want them. It's never happened to me yet, touch wood, but things can latch on to you. I think maybe this is where people go wrong. They do games, like Ouija board, or there's another thing online now. I think it's to do with yes, that's right. Is it called the Charlie Challenge? I think it's called. I've never done anything like that, because I know that leads straight to the dark side. There's no good spirit will be found dead. Sorry for the pun. Found dead near one of those things. They are strictly for bad entities to enter this existence, enter this realm. So yes, I went. It took me a while. As I went and knocked on the door, I could feel the energy building inside the house. I went in. Of course, at this point, the people have told me that there's something not quite right with the house. So you go in with, I've got to do something to help these people. And I went in, and immediately I could feel this pressure pressing on my chest. And then I heard something not very nice say, you're not coming in. Go away and take the light with you, my inner light, my God side of me. Everyone has God inside them. Their soul comes straight from God, and there is their power is inside them. And of course I went in and I said, I'm coming in anyway, no matter what you say. And then I went in and I blessed each house in the Hebrew tongue. Now, Hebrew is a very ancient language. Most people think it's one of maybe the language that maybe started most of them others off. Of course, you've got like well, you've got Hebrew, you've got Paleo Hebrew is more ancient still, but that's more like a writing system. It's very pictographic, just like with the Egyptians' writing systems, very picturesque pictures, should I say. Then of course you've got Sanskrit, but of course I'm going with the writing, but with the words. I could say quick prayer, Baruch atah Adonai Elokeinu Shalom Eshamayim Amen, and that roughly translates into blessed are you, King of the universe, of heaven and earth. And then you could say a quick prayer, more like on the lines of bless this house, Baruch atah Yahweh, bless this house in the name of Yahweh. And then, of course, Yahweh in English translates into, well, they've changed the name now to Jehovah. It was Yahweh originally. Now Jehovah is a German translation, of course, of the Greek. And of course you say that all the way through the house. Maybe you want to do smoke and feathers like the ancient Native Americans, crystals to bind it. And this one day I took a rock with me to bind the entity in, and it was perfectly smooth, like an oval shaped stone. Took it in, and many times when you trap these entities, down the centre, when I'd finished the prayer and it was gone, some people say they go back to where they came from, others say you might have trapped the spirit in the rock. But when I'd finished the blessings, the rock had a crack in it. Of course, the crack was perfectly smooth and round and oval before I'd started. So who knows, friends, maybe. And I dug down at least 4 foot in the ground and buried it stone, so no one would be able to find it. Hopefully. I'm the only person who knows where that is. I buried it in a wood, so unless someone's going to bury a body of some sort, or maybe, an animal, I'm very, very doubtful that they're going to find it, because I don't want them to loose the entity back into this existence. And of course, if they happen to pick it up and release the thing, I really don't want them to get attached to them and make their life a living hell. I'll touch upon this another time, friends. I'm thinking it's getting a bit long now, the video, but hopefully If you like what you're hearing so far, subscribe, leave comments. So until next time, friends, goodbye.